Peace, family. So earlier, the United States Supreme Court ruled that they're going to strip affirmative action. So that means that colleges and universities don't have to consider race in their admission process. This is going to limit how many black people can go to these institutions now. When I heard this, it bothered me on multiple levels. First of all, the fact that this country was founded in 1776. But it wasn't until 1865 that the black citizens of this country was released from slavery. Our white counterparts had almost a 90-year head start. They built the economics, politics, businesses, industries, and institutions to promote their way of life. And when we were released from enslavement, they had this infrastructure that not only affected the slaves or the descendants of slaves, but it affected all black people in this country and globally. And what have we done since then? When they released our people from enslavement, they didn't even have homes to go to separate themselves from their oppressor. Because we didn't have our own independent means to sustain our way of life, our enslaver went from enslaver to employer. And then these people passed laws that threw you back in jail if you stepped 1 foot off the plantation. And we have yet did anything not even close to what they've done to put us in this situation. We've done nothing to counteract it. This country is 247 years old in white years, but only 158 years in black. In order for us to close this economic gap, this political gap, this business and industrial gap, we have got to create our own institutions. We pay taxes in this country. Taxes that pay the salaries of the Supreme Court. And for them to make a decision like this with no consideration of history, no understanding, no compassion, and we paying for these fools? But meanwhile, our counterpart are putting people in political position. President of the United States. They're putting people in the courts that sympathize with their needs. And what are we doing? We are sitting up over here because of our failed black leaders. We are sitting around marching and parading around symbolism. A name on a street sign, a plaque on a building, a statue. These are the poorest weapons you could use to fight systemic racism. While you dancing and parading around a statue of Martin Luther King that you so socially weak, you couldn't even get a black artist to make it. They are stripping rights, privileges, and freedoms from our people. And now one of these black leaders has said, you know what, we got to change our strategy. There was over 60 communities that black people have built since 1865. And white people have came and destroyed them all or systemically weakened them and forced us back into this failed system. And then they have the audacity to continue stripping away at whatever social gains we get as a people. Now, without the affirmative action, our people will not be able to get admitted into this colleges like we were prior to it. So now all your professional social ambition that require education has been weakened. Your ability to get a job, to provide for yourselves and your families has just been weakened. You think that statue you praise and it's gonna create jobs for you? You think that plaque on the building is gonna create jobs for you? It's gonna make rulings on your behalf? You think praising this street sign, what is that going to? Nothing. It is obviously clear that black people, we cannot stay in this system. And we cannot be afraid to rebuild our own communities. And this time when we build it, we have to defend it. It is because of this lack of competition that white people have that allows them to run amok over our people. They can do whatever they want to do. You ain't got to take my word for it. Look out the window, look on TV, look on your phone or internet, anywhere. They run amok over black people, and there's not a moment's hesitation, concern, or nothing about them. Because we don't have anything to do as an alternative to stop or slow down. Nothing they do. Do you think they could do this if we had our own? And see, the fact of the matter is this: these people are, through their arrogance, they're able to openly and blatantly, systemically destroy black progress. And then turn around and brag about how much they do, how great they are. While you sit down and destroy the competition. You don't see Pepsi destroying Coca-Cola and then bragging about their dominance. You don't see Ford destroying General Motors and then bragging about their dominance. But you see white people. Not only do they destroy black independent communities, and then force us back into this system. Then once we get back in here, then they strip us of our rights, privileges, and freedoms within here. And then they sit up here and brag about their dominance. Talking about how now, colleges can admit students based on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. After you mother effers had a 90-year head start, where you had a legacy of people going to the colleges, and now all you got to do is have a cert name, and your admission and graduation is almost guaranteed. While our black children have to go in here and fight and to clear every freaking hurdle. I want you to send your black children to these schools now and see how fast they get admitted just based on their content of their character as opposed to the color of their skin. I'm going to end this video here. And if you like this message, if you like this content, and if you like this pressure that I put on our oppressor, put a little pressure on that follow, subscribe, and share button, and catch me in my next video. Ashe.